Sarah Thomas. This is Kyle Carroll from My MMA News. Sarah's got a fight on April 9th. Want to tell us about your fight?
It is April 9th, which is a Sunday, which is kind of cool because you can, come on down and then. But besides that, it's kickboxing. No, it's K1 actually, which I don't even know the rules totally, so I'm gonna have to find that out. But the girl I'm fighting, I can't find her on Google, so it's kind of mysterious.
Do you know her name?
Francesca Matias, I think. She's from it seemed like a karate school, but I couldn't really Google her, so it's kind of mysterious. I just know that she's 5'2", which is kind of crazy. A giant. And it's 137, which is also kind of crazy, so this is a mysterious fight.
So you said you're fighting a K1 fight. Is it for a title? It's at Mulcahy,
no
right?
title. It's at Mulcahy, so.
Okay, and that's a Sunday, April 9th.
Yeah, they start at 5:30.
Tell us what it's like, I guess, transitioning from MMA to kickboxing back and forth.
Now I'm looking at all the striking fights as sparring at this point because I want to do MMA and I need to focus more on other things besides striking, but I want to be active, so it's kind of like a sparring match for me.
I know you do a lot of jiu-jitsu tournaments. You've been winning gold medals left and right since you've been doing them. Do you have any tournaments coming up in jiu-jitsu?
I just saw that one that's March 25th. I don't know what that is, but I might do that.
Alright. Now, when you're kickboxing and you're not doing MMA, is there any urge for you to take the person down, and even though you know it's against the rules?
Yeah. When I clinch with them, I'm like, wait, I want to just snap their head to the ground.
Alright, so tell us, I guess, about how training's been going for you. Last MMA fight you had was a defeat for you. How has it been bouncing back?
I feel like I just made a lot of mistakes, and I got myself really confused, and I fought. It was 4 or 5 times in 2 months, and I kept cutting weight. And before that fight, I honestly didn't want to fight. But then I felt bad backing out on my opponent, so I kind of went in there with a defeated attitude. And then I just accepted takedowns, which is something that I don't want to do at all anymore. And I've just been working on getting back up because I'm a little comfortable on my back. So.
Okay, and what have you learned from your fight? So you said you made a lot of mistakes. What did you learn from that? I know there was a lot of fights in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
What did you learn, and then how's it been with the rest period of not fighting?
Just to not cut weight that much was number one because I felt really sick. And then if I really don't feel well, to probably not fight. But beyond that, not accepting a takedown, fighting it as much as I can, and forcing my game plan. I was thinking too much about what she was doing rather than what I should be doing. And then I was relying on the ref to stand us up when we weren't really doing anything, and that wasn't happening, which was my fault because I should have just worked on getting up rather than holding her in my guard. And then just learning as I go, I guess. And that experience is good, regardless of what it is.
Okay, you said there's a kickboxing and a K1 fight coming up. Do you have any MMA fights in the future that you want to get on? Any cards or anything like that?
I think that I'm fighting on the NYFE one that's at the end of April.
Oh, the 28th,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he gave me an opponent. I almost positive it's confirmed. I forget her name though. But I know I watched her and she's pretty good. But I just don't know. She's smaller than me.
Is that at 135 pounds?
It's at 135, but the girl looked smaller. But she looked good, but smaller than me.
Okay. So
I know it's 135.
She's coming up in weight, I guess.
Yeah, she's fought at 130, I saw.
Oh, alright.
I could never remember.
How is cutting weight for you? Is that something that's become an issue, or?
Yeah, it's hard. I wait last minute a lot of the time, and then cut way too much weight. But people think I'm skinny, but I'm tall, so it's pretty hard. Sometimes I'll get up to 155, and then I'll be all right, I guess I should get a little lower, so it's not gonna be a dramatic experience.
How was it training at Long Island MMA? You had just finished up a wrestling class with Chris Wade, UFC fighter. There's numerous other UFC fighters in here, and Bellator champion. Tell us what it's like fighting in Long Island MMA.
It's really good. I've been training with a lot of really good guys, but the only problem that's given me is feeling comfortable on bottom because I've I've gotten a little too used to that. But now there's more girls that I've been training with, so that's helping me a lot. I like training with the guys and learning from them, but when we go live, it's kind of sometimes makes me do things that I wouldn't normally do. So now I'm training with more girls and then learning stuff from the guys.
Okay. Have you been recruiting more girls and stuff? I know for a bit you said there's a lot of like females coming in to box and jiu-jitsu and all. A lot of them kind of like focusing towards training, or are they just coming in here to train?
What do you mean, sorry?
Like just like they're not looking to fight in the future.
Oh no, it's mostly. I don't think I've ever really trained with many girls that don't fight unless it's the women's jiu-jitsu class we have here, where I just work on like technique. But everyone fights that comes here.
All right, cool.
So anyone locally on Long Island that's around my weight.
How many fights have you had now?
I don't know.
You've had a few. I
Yeah.
know. Is there any like timetable of yours that you want to go pro maybe in the future?
I actually just talked to my coach and I was thinking maybe even after the NYFE one, if it goes well, not like he said like, well obviously I want to win, but if I like do well, but if I like win and don't do well, then like
You want to
but or if I lose and do well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to even say that, but like if I look like, because one of my problems is when I take too much time off, I get like anxious. Like I'm all mental. Like physically, I feel like I could do really well, but sometimes I think too much.
What have you been working on most, aside from kickboxing that's coming up? What have you been focused on overall in your MMA game?
Being more aggressive once it's on the ground and not accepting takedowns, and kind of I've been focusing a lot on striking too, like imposing my will more. Because sometimes I like point fight a little bit.
Okay.
So trying to like, because I know I have power, but I don't always like use it. I just kind of like once I hit someone, like wait.
You're looking for the more
aggressive.
sweet spot.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Not looking for a knockout, but like looking to like make someone want to give up more.
How do you go about training for someone you really don't know about, especially in like a kickboxing fight?
I usually like to watch them like once and then decide what I'm gonna do, kind of, and then never watch them again. But since I don't know, I didn't know my last kickboxing opponent either, and I kind of, it's bad, but when I don't know, I assume that's a good thing. But it could be a bad thing, but I don't. It makes me less nervous.
I guess tell us a little bit about what you do for, I guess, a living, and then tell us how that MMA mixed martial arts has helped you with that.
Well, I train people, so that helps. And then I do like random like commercial type acting stuff, and it kind of all ties into one because all the like commercial type stuff I do is like fitness. It's not really anything besides that. And then training people obviously helps. And I don't know, I want to like focus as much as I can on this while I'm younger, because I know once I reach a certain point, I'm probably going to be like, all right, I want kids and I'm done fighting.
What else is there about you that, say, someone that's watching doesn't know about you that they would like, maybe that you would like them to know that they don't know?
I guess I'm kind of weird, and I like to fuck around. Sorry if I'm cursing. I like to make jokes, and I like things to be funny in my life. And I'm not mean, so like if I ever fight you, it's no hard feelings. And I'm not an asshole, even though I feel like sometimes people might think I'm an asshole. I don't know. I just like fighting for fun.
Take us through, I guess, a routine. Do you have like a routine leading up to the fight, after the fight, after you weigh in? Is there something you like to eat?
I guess routine. I feel like my body knows when I'm about to fight, and like I feel like when I'm striking and stuff, I feel like crisper. And then usually like right before I'll go get braids in my hair, and then starve to death while that's happening because it kind of makes me not think about it. And then afterwards, this is what I keep adjusting because I've been having issues where like my post-weigh-in meal is making me like have the worst stomachache ever and I want to throw up and die. So like weight cut's what I've been trying to fix for this fight. Like I've been trying to slowly cut weight rather than just last minute.
Sick. What was it that you were eating?
I mean,
if you don't mind it.
One time I may have eaten a burger.
A man burger?
A big ass burger. But like besides that, I try to do like chicken, sweet potatoes, stuff like that. But I'll like first of all not pace myself, and then last fight I drank like a ton of coconut water, which was a bad idea because it made my stomach just like I wanted to throw up. I was trying not to throw up, and even before my fight, I felt like. So.
How was I guess your cardio and your weight training? How is that all played into training?
It's
for your
really
fights?
hard to like fit all of that in because I feel like there's so much that I want to learn, but then I also want to keep my cardio up and weight train without overtraining, so it becomes a little bit of a nightmare. But I mean, a lot of like the training I do ends up being cardio, but I'm trying to like do sprints twice a week and then lift twice a week. But the lifting has become more like almost recovery, so I don't injure myself. It's not like lifting a lot. Like I used to always want to lift as much as I could, but now I'm trying to like calm myself down.
Do you have any comments, statements, or thoughts towards your opponent? Something you would like to share with them, tell them?
It will be fun. We can have beer after.
All right, cool. Anything else you would like to add before I guess I conclude it?
My dance moves.